Good evening, welcome to Wales at 6. I'm Jonathan Hill. Shop owners across Wales are calling for more support for our high streets. Research from the Welsh Retail Consortium reveals 1 in 8 shops are empty, and the number of people shopping in our town centres is down again on last year. There have been demands to delay changes to business rates, but today the First Minister said that that wouldn't be happening. Our correspondent Rob Osborne reports.
Like most Valleys communities, Abertillery once had a thriving town centre. But look around parts of this town and it seems there are more to let signs than shoppers.
They're all fed up with it.
What, because of the empty shops?
They're fed up with Abertillery. And most of them now, I suppose, they go out of town anyway, which doesn't help on the weekends. They do their shopping away from you.
Have you ever seen someone like this coming back to glory days, all these old shops filling back up?
No, never.
According to one retail analyst, almost a quarter of Abertillery's shops are empty. This bank closed a few months ago, and to make things worse, this one is about to follow it. And shop owners like David are not happy.
There's not a lot of employment in Abertillery, and to try and encourage business into Abertillery, you need to give them the services and facilities. So by removing banks and anything else, it's got to be detrimental.
Speaking to some people here in Abertillery today, there is a grudging acceptance that things have changed. You no longer need to come into towns like this to shop. You can stay at home and do it all on your phone, meaning there are now shops closing down and indeed banks going the same way. But figures obtained by ITV Wales show Abertillery is by no means on its own. According to analysts, the local data company, these are the 5 worst areas of Wales for empty shops. But some places are fighting back. If you know anything about Swansea, then you'll know that High Street was hardly the jewel in the city's crown. But things have started to turn around. The empty shops have now been replaced by theatres and galleries. There's modern art. Even this graffiti has attracted visitors. Also attracted is this new business, a tech startup, which liked the low rents and the new vibe.
So the creatives moved in first, then the technology people have kind of followed them because they're good people for us to sort of work with. And I think now we're attracting other people, and there seems to be a lot more. There's a new pub opening soon by the looks of it, and I think it has this waterfall effect where once someone starts in the creative, it kind of keeps going. If you look at Shoreditch in London, 10 years ago, that was a not very nice place, and now the rents there are higher than in sort of Mayfair.
High Street is now gaining a positive reputation outside of Wales, and the work here is largely down to a local housing association. What can communities like Abertillery learn from Swansea's High Street?
I think, the engagement with the wider creative sector has been really important, but a lot of it is just long-term investment and strategy and realising that things don't change overnight. I always think that we're 2 or 3 years away from the next kind of rain check, but this is going to be ongoing for the next 10 to 15 years.
So the challenge for communities plagued by empty shops is to find a new use for them. The problem is that is easier said than it is done.
Well, our correspondent Rob Osborne is in Swansea city centre for us this evening. Rob, in the run-up to Christmas, more people than ever are predicted to be shopping online. That's not going to help the predicament of the small shops.
No, that's right, John. Even Christmas trees like this bring people in, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be shopping. Places like Abertillery have invested. The council has put in money to try and bring these shops back into life, but it doesn't seem to be happening there and around Wales. People have been contacting us in the last 24 hours with their stories, and their high streets are pretty depressed. So what can we learn from Swansea? I'm pleased to say I'm joined by Julie Williamson from the Federation of Small Businesses in the city and a cafe owner on High Street. So what can Abertillery and places like it up and down Wales learn from Swansea?
Well, going back to 3-4 years ago, as you know, we were a very depressed area, and I think through a lot of help with regards to the council, organisations like Coastal Housing, they really been able to bring in smaller businesses with rather more niche markets.
And that's key, because a few years ago a redevelopment of a city centre was about bringing in the latest chicken restaurant and bringing in the same chain shops you see everywhere else. It feels like here it's about being individual.
Yes, indeed. And also, I think they've taken a lot of interest with regards to customer relations. It's very warm. The people are very warm-hearted anyway, as you know, in Swansea, but they've actually become more professional now.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much for joining us. What's going on the High Street in Swansea is really interesting, and if you want to see more, head to the website itv.com, where you'll see a special report on it.
Rob Osborne in Swansea City Centre. Thanks very much indeed.